Buzz's news of the day. I feel like an old guy just sitting here reading the paper. Remember newspapers? I haven't had a newspaper in I don't know how long. We quit our paper many, many years ago. I think they were 7 days a week. We went down to 2 days a week. And then we just decided to stop getting it, period. And that's too bad. I love getting the paper and reading it. But anyway, this is the AARP magazine, and this is the title that I was going to look at is Beating the Odds. With new forms of gambling booming in America, some retirees are going bust. More than 75 million Americans, 1 in 5, have an account with an online sports betting service. And this article goes on to talk about one guy who was spending $5,000 a day. And the problem with, and this is a retired guy, and the problem with being retired, you can't make up that extra money. Usually you have a pension or you have Social Security, and you have money in the bank. Well, when you start throwing away all the money that you got saved up, that it took you years to save up, and you're just pissing it away, that's going to be a problem. So now myself, I had an MGM account. I think it was MGM, right? MGM Grand. They came out with an app that they offered. I think this was like 2 years ago. They offered like $30 free if you put in $30. So you got $60, and it was during football season. And I said, hey, I'll try it out. And I always bet the Cleveland Browns, but I should say I bet against them. I bet against the Browns because if they lose, and I live in Cleveland, if they lose, I feel good because I won money. But if they win, I'd feel good that they won, but bad because I lost money. But I played that for like 2 or 3 weeks, and I was up like $5 or $10, and I just said, this isn't worth it because I could just already sense I'm not very good at picking the spread. And that's all I played was the spread. I didn't play anything like, how many first downs in the first 2 minutes before a commercial and all that kind of junk. So I came out ahead and I deleted the app. But that's an amazing stat. 75 million, 1 in 5 Americans have an account with an online sports betting service. Now, I can tell you this. I do have a betting app, which is a casino app, which is, it's out in Costa Rica somewhere, I think. It's definitely not United States. And I have dabbled in that for a couple years now. Now, I am retired. If you don't know, you're new to my channel. I am retired, and I don't have enough money that I can just go spending gambling and throwing away. So any gambling I do is from proceeds from my other channel that I have. And I'll tell you what, at the very beginning, they lure you in. So here's their setup, okay? So pay attention to this. You ready? So there's all these different apps, and these are actual money apps. These are not apps that you get 20 horses or something, or some stupid thing, which I think legally in certain places is all they can do. Credits, I guess they would give you. And then there's all these games where it's just credits, and then you have to buy credits to continue playing. Well, this is not that. This is a real money slot machine game. Now, they do have live casino. They do have roulette wheels and dice and different things like that. I don't fool with that. That's well beyond my means and my mental capabilities. So slots is really easy. Now, why do I do that? Because I used to go when I was working 3 years ago. I've been retired almost 3 years. I would go to Northfield Park, the MGM. Well, now it's been a couple different names, but the MGM Casino, and yeah, I blow money. I mean, I know when I go in there that I'm going to come out with a lot less than what I took in. And I realize that, but it's fun. You get the adrenaline going, and I don't do a lot of entertainment. Me and my wife, we don't do a lot of entertainment. We don't smoke. We don't go to movies. We don't drink. So we have other vices, or I should say, I have other vices. But I haven't been to the casino in a long time. I'll probably go on my birthday. Um, Early next year, I'll go on my birthday, and we'll see how it goes. That's the plan for now. But the online casino. So you set that up, and the first thing they give you is like a 300% bonus. So that means, and this is what happened to me. So I said, oh, okay, 300%. So, I put in $100 and you get $300 to play. So I'm playing that, and I won $5,000. Seriously, 5,000 grand, or $5,000, 5 grand. So I'm like, wow, that's really cool. I mean, this is like taking candy from a baby. Well, of course, any person with the right mind knows what what goes up goes down. So, and they're going to steal it all back just like a regular casino will. Yeah, you'll win, but if you're stupid and you just keep playing, you're going to lose that money, trust me. So I went ahead and I, playing the game, I won $5,000. Now, the catch to those bonuses is a couple things. One, you have to get payback. In other words, you have to play enough and win enough to, like, you have to get like $15,000 in wins. So you're taking your $300 or $400, you're playing that. You have to win. You'll lose, win and lose, win and lose, but you have to accumulate $9,000 worth of wins. Yeah, I know it sounds confusing, and that's where they get a lot of people. I accomplished that goal. I got the 8 or 9,000, whatever it was. And then they also max it out, which I did not know. So here I'm sitting on 5,000. I go to the online cashier and I click, I want my withdrawal, and it said you could only withdraw 2,500. Your other 2,500 is gone. And I'm like, what? So I start looking at the rules really close, reading word by word, and it does say that. It does say that if you're on a bonus, they can limit the amount that you can win. Some of them actually are like $100. So you have to really look at the fine print on that stuff. But, so, okay, 2,500 is 2,500. That's not a bad win. So I did the withdrawal, and it takes 7 days, about 7 days, 5 working days, 7 days, somewhere in there. And they didn't pay me. All of a sudden, I had the $2,500 back into my account. Now, they call that a reverse withdrawal, okay? And that's another little trick that they play. So I called customer service, and I tell you, this particular, I'm not going to mention it, but this particular online gambling thing that I'm doing or have done, they have a person you could talk to right away, online talking. There's no bots or anything like that. You actually get to talk to a person, type into a person, and they looked at it, and I actually did get a call from somebody, and that was a manager of some sort, and said, hey, you asked for a withdrawal. And I said, no, I did not. And maybe it was online. Maybe it wasn't a phone call. Yeah, it might have been online. And I said, you asked for it. And I said, no, there's no way I asked for $2,500 to be put back into my account. What sense would that make? Oh, it happens all the time, he says. Well, I said, it's not happening with me. Okay, we'll process it, no problem. And they did. So I had to wait another 7 days. So I'm 2 weeks thinking, I'm not going to get this money. And that was my first association with them and the first win that I had. Now, here's some things that if you ever do these things, and I advise against it. I mean, this guy here, 5 grand a day he was playing. I mean, he's sitting in the bathroom pooping and he's playing. You can get hooked on these kind of things. The minimum, let me tell you what's the one I do. Now, I think they're pretty much similar, and you can Google or hit up any of these chat box and ask which ones are the top 5, top 10 that actually play real money. Um, Mine's in the category, not at the top, but I've had no problem with payouts after that initial episode. I've had no problem with anything, but here's the deal. Your minimum deposit is $25. Now, that to some that may seem low, to some that like me, that's high. But if I do $25 a month, I'm happy with that. I pop in 25 and I've actually made money doing that. I've hit, and I could show you, but I can't do it because I'm using my phone. A couple weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks ago, I hit $500 on a slot machine. It was $500. Three diamonds or whatever came up, and right away I cashed out. I was like at 550 or something like that, and I cashed out the 500 and got paid within 7 days. So you have to use crypto. Never use a credit card. If you don't have a crypto account, you need to set one up. So it gets complicated. Now, I had a crypto account. I used to dabble in crypto years ago, 4, 5, 6 years ago. And I made some money in crypto. So I'm on Coinbase. That's the one I use. There's other ones out there. You have to set up a crypto account. Then when you go into their system, you can hit crypto, you can make the deposit, and you should use a bank account that doesn't have all your money in it. So if that means setting up a separate account, or if that means, and that's good in a couple different ways, because you could say, I'm going to use this account for my gambling or for my whatever entertainment expenses, however you want to set it up. But don't give any of these online gambling places your regular banking account. That's just, to me, that's just stupid. Now, will they try to do anything? Hey, nowadays, you can't trust anybody. And especially if they're in Costa Rica or Brazil or somewhere, you don't know what they're going to do. You don't know what people are working for them. Are they trustworthy? You have no clue. I mean, they're kind of running under the radar, so to speak. You don't get a 1099 on your winnings. You don't get any of that. So keep that in mind. So you can't use it as a tax deduction because it's kind of like under the table, so to speak. But yeah, so get a crypto. You'd have to have a crypto account. Use crypto. They do pay you. And some I have read are better than others. The one I'm using, I'm not going to start up a new one. I'm not going to change because I just don't want to get involved in any more of them. I don't need anybody else having my bank account routing number, which they have to have. Well, I take that back. I'm sorry. You're going to have your crypto account, which is going to go to the merchant, the slot company, and then your crypto account would pull from your bank account. So, but even with the crypto account, I don't want nobody taking, having access to my bank account. I don't do, I do 1, 2 prepays, like my cable company, and some other one I do a prepay where it comes out of my checking account automatically. But those are all directed to one account. So my main account where I keep most of my liquid money, nobody really has access to. And I like it that way. So, and you still have to monitor it anyway. But there is ways you can do that. But again, look at this guy. $5,000 a day he was paying, playing. And I mean, he just basically lost his entire fortune. Everything that he worked so hard to make, he lost it. I mean, what's that, 1-800 don't gamble number? Whatever. It's sad. It's sad. And I happened to walk into Menards one day, and I saw 2 Menards employees. And young people, they had to have been 22, 23 maybe, guy and a girl. And I'm in the plumbing aisle, and they're both standing there wearing their Menards shirts. And I heard one of them say to the other, and this was during football season, and one of them said, yeah, I missed by 2 points on this one. And I'm sort of listening like, what did she say? Yeah, and he goes, yeah, let me see who I'm betting today. So these 22-year-olds were betting I mean, they had the online apps and they're betting. I mean, what are they making? 15, 20 bucks an hour if they're lucky? And, you know, they're pissing away that money by betting. And the girl already admitted she lost because by 2 points on, you know, get ready because that's what you're going to end up doing. These bookies in Vegas are, yeah, you're going to get a few hits here and there, but ultimately at the end of the day, you are going to be on the downside. You are going to be making their car payments and you're going to be making their house payments for them. So, and especially young people, they're struggling right now with prices and home prices and everything. They should not be on the online gambling. So, anyway, it's a long rant for today. Anyway, thanks for stopping by my channel. Subscribe if you think you can. And we periodically put out these videos and we learn a little bit. I learn a little bit. Maybe you learn a little bit, maybe you don't. Take care.